Let's put hands together for Dr. Julius-Adeoye as he comes up to speak on enhance your talent. Let's keep clapping until he gets here. Are you tired of clapping?
Good morning. Good morning to the students and good morning to my colleagues, the teachers. I call them my colleagues because we are in the teaching business and doing the same thing. Before I go on with my talk, I would like us to understand that I will be talking to ourselves. We'll be exchanging ideas. I will not adopt a talk-down approach, but I want an interactive session whereby at a point, I will have to engage you, my students, and then you will also engage me. I will ask questions and you will ask me questions as well. Thank you. The topic, enhance your talent, be educated, has been well talked about by the organizer of this program. But be that as it may, I want us to look at it from an understanding that is peculiar to us as young adults or adolescents, and to us as older people. What do we mean by enhancing your talent? And then what do we mean by education? To so many people, education means so many things. The same way talent means so many things to many people as well. But for me, I have looked generally and see education as immersion in knowledge of something. Education is immersion in the knowledge of something. Whatever it is that you want to do, being immersed in the knowledge of it, the know-how, the principles that guide it, and the developmental process of it is key. Immersion in the knowledge of something. When we take it to another level of higher education. We say immersion in the knowledge of a particular discipline. Immersion in the knowledge of a language. Immersion in the knowledge of a trade. Immersion in the knowledge of an art. Immersion in the knowledge of a science. Immersion in the knowledge of agriculture. Immersion in the knowledge of breeding. With all these examples of what I consider as something, one will look where we are still running around something that I need to study before I can acquire. What about something that I don't have to read before I can acquire? So then we can say immersion in the knowledge of playing. Immersion in the knowledge of drawing, painting. Immersion in the knowledge of football. Immersion in the knowledge of anything that comes to our mind that we can stand upon. The first key is knowledge. Immersion in the knowledge of fashion. Immersion in the knowledge of training, sewing or tailoring. Why do I take knowledge as a key point in the definition of education here? It is because that is the key point in education. I'll come to that shortly. Let's look at talent. What is talent? Talent is innate ability or innate gift that one do not train to acquire. I don't know if I'm communicating here. Innate ability that one has not gone through the knowledge of training to acquire. You have not immersed yourself in it, to the knowledge, but it comes to you naturally. Natural gift. Natural gifts, natural ability. Let's take, for instance, if you are from the riverine area of this country, it is expected that you will know how to swim. Yes or no? Don't forget, I said it's going to be interactive. I will ask questions, you will ask me. You expected to know how to swim, yes or no? When you start to swim and your friend sees you swimming, what would they say? He swims well. He knows how to swim. He's gifted in swimming. Yes or no? But as he trained to acquire that knowledge of swimming, it comes to him naturally. The same thing applies to every vocation or every knowledge, every training that we want to pass through in terms of education. Talent and education move together. Natural ability and the knowledge of enhancing that natural ability. This is what links education and talent together. Many a times, you just wake up and say, I have an inspiration to draw something. And after the drawing, you show it to somebody, and then, or you keep it in your wardrobe or on your table, and probably your parents or friends come and, wow, it's wonderful. Can you help me to draw this? From that moment of encouragement, you started to draw. Yes or no? And as you continue to draw, people begin to notice you. And they will tell you that, oh, it's a natural gift. So, but it's a natural gift. But the more you immerse yourself in that natural gift, you're also acquiring something. The more you do it. You're also passing through the process of education. And now you can tell somebody, I can teach you this. I can teach you to paint. I can teach you to do this. I can teach you to do that. What comes to you as a natural ability, some people will have to be immersed in the arts or in the knowledge before they can get to the level that you have attained. Talents, education, work together. Let's look at the different types of talent we have, apart from drawing, as an artist. I am a theater artist. I can stand here and talk from morning till night. I can use my body to begin to dramatize. I can pick students from all these schools, pick two students here, and then in 20 minutes or 10 minutes, we enact a drama. And we have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and we have a story. That is my profession. And yet, I happen to be talented in that very area before I can begin to nurture it. Let's talk about fashion. Or let's move on to blogging. Let's talk about photography. Like the organizer mentioned, let's talk about maths. My mother, who did not pass through the classroom that I passed through, can calculate money faster than I will calculate it. It's part of my own level of education. To her, it's a talent to calculate money. So that's the same thing for our parents. When it comes to money, they have that talent to calculate money. I'll tell you, àpò kan, àpò méjì, àpò mẹ́ta, àpò mẹ́rin, without passing through any teacher to teach them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The knowledge of trading comes to them naturally. We have a popular artist or a creative designer, a popular creative designer in Nigeria here, that she's the most popular creative designer from Nigeria, and indeed from Africa. But she will tell you that she has not passed through any university education. And she has had the ability of teaching in university. I'm not talking about university like we have within our country. She had the opportunity of teaching in universities like Harvard, Yale, Ivy League universities in the United States, and even in Europe. The woman lives here in Oshogo, and owns Nikkei Art Gallery. Here, she designed pattern on clothes. Her prints so popular and famous around the world based on her talents. Talent and education move together without separating one another. So let me give you a principle of the trees. The tree principle. Tree forms. When you plant a tree, the first thing that comes to your mind is to nurture it. You water it. Daily or every other day, you go back there to do what? To water it. You continue to water it. And as day progresses, you discover that the tree will begin to grow. And as it's growing, branches begin to form. Along the line, you will see some branches that doesn't really appeal to you, and you see some branches that appeal to you. The branches that doesn't appeal to you, the truth is that you pay less attention to it. But those that appeal to you, you will want to go there and continue to either to touch it or you want to show it to other people. The more you stay and water your tree, the better your tree will grow. If there's going to be any untoward happening towards it, you will do what? You will quickly notice and then find a way to remedy the situation. That is the way your talent is. As you nurture your talent, you are developing your educational need and knowledge for that talent. I don't know if I'm making meaning here. Hello? When you have a talent to sew clothes. If you stay on sewing boba alone and drawing one pattern, that's the way you will remain. But the consistency in sewing the boba will make you unique as a boba tailor. Yes or no? And people will see you and say, oh, if you want a perfect boba with a seamless tailoring, give it to Yinka. Because more people come to you over it, then they will begin to ask, how do you do it? How do you do it? How come you are able to do this so perfectly? And then you become what? A teacher. Because of what? Your consistency and the knowledge you have acquired over time based on what you call your talent. The nurturing. Nurturing is education. And the more you nurture it, the more you discover that it becomes your hobby to do it. Your talent is your hobby. And nothing makes one happier than benefiting from what you consider your hobby. Let me tell you a story. When I was younger, at high school, I schooled in Lagos. I went to St. Finbar's College, Akoka. For those of you who know the school, at the time we were in school, it used to be one of the, like the Americans who say, the Ivy League university, or the prestigious high schools. We also, in Lagos, St. Finbar's College happens to be a prestigious secondary school. And it's a dream to be in that school. You want to show that you are so perfect, you are so good that because if you are not performing well, they'll throw you out of the school. But many of our parents want you to do what? To become a doctor. Then you have to be a medical doctor. You have to do sciences. You have to do sciences. You have to do sciences. If you have the knowledge of science and you start nurturing it, you become very good at it. So that's why that people begin to call you nerd. So it's a nerd. Mathematics, it's a nerd. He doesn't have time to play. It's a nerd. I don't know if you are familiar with that very language. If you're familiar with the language, let me see your hands up. A nerd. Okay, good. When you see, he's a computer geek, so he's a nerd. He doesn't have time to play. He concentrates himself with his knowledge of computer and just staying from morning till night. But for me, I love painting. I love to draw. But my daddy, who happened to be a teacher at that time, was not interested in you painting. Was more interested in you being a medical doctor. That's me in this regard. Since I was not interested in it, it became difficult for me to do what? To nurture it. Even when I was in class, so whatever the teacher was saying at that time was passing over my head. It took time to read, to find myself getting into it, but I just couldn't. As it happened to many of us, many of you. And then your colleague will say, or your mate will say, oh, he doesn't know book. He doesn't know anything. He's always the one coming last in class. Oh, out of 30 students, you will come 17. We are the first. We come first. But by the time I left high school, I decided to follow where my talent is. The theater. Years after, the same friends that I went to high school with, that were, he's not gifted, he's not, just let him be. And they come around and say, oh, you are a genius. We can't compare ourselves with you because you are too good. So we are just trying out like you. Students that were seeing me as, don't mind him, he's just an average student, now saying, you are a genius, we can't compare ourselves with you. Why? Why do you think that happened? Because they did not discover their own talent. They were working on the premise of knowledge that they are not really in tune with. But I picked my talent and I nurtured it. So I become so familiar with the process of acquiring it and of passing it around that every knowledge around it became very easy to me. Let's take, for instance, let me use the theater as a study here. How many of you have the knowledge that the theater as a discipline in the university is at the center of so many disciplines? Your parents will say, well, theater, oh, let me use a Yoruba word. Àwọn ajífòwúrọ̀ ṣeré. Kí ni wọ́n mọ̀? Àwọn eléré orí ìtàgé. But if I have to act as a medical doctor, what am I going to do first? To make it convincing, what will I do first? I will have to research into that area of medicine. Yes or no? By researching into an area of medicine, what have I become? Knowledgeable in that very area. So if I have to act as a lawyer, I will do the same. So what have I become within that very instance? Knowledgeable in that very area. And when you watch your movies, you see an actor playing different roles, playing different professions. And begin to wonder. And he actually studied theater at all. He didn't study something fantastic. So that is the shortcomings that many of our parents have. They look at a particular course and say, oh, it is beneath a particular course. In the university, there is no course that is beneath another. No. There is no course that is beneath another. Every course is unique and important to the society. The first thing you learn is how to be confident, because that is what your talent teaches you. Once you know it more and more, you do what? You become confident in that very area. Immersion in the knowledge of something. Enhancing your talents. Be educated. Once you have it, work on it, seek more knowledge in that very area. The more you know about it, the better you become. The better you become, the more professional you become. As you become better, people begin to say, he's a professional in this very area. And the more money you make. I don't know if there will have any one of us that will take our clothes to a tailor, and after the tailor finished sewing it and putting pockets at the back here, we want to go back to the tailor and to give another cloth again. Is there anybody here? After giving your clothes to a tailor, the tailor decides to put the pocket at the back. Will you take another cloth to the tailor? Why not? Why not? Do you want me to calm down? Okay, let me call. Excuse me, will you come up, please? You. The next person. Yes. Come on. Please, can you give her a round of applause, please? I should step up.
No.
Why? Not. Thank you. Actually, I've done one thing here, which I want to launch. I want to launch me into the next part of this presentation. That is enhancing your talents, be educated. The talent of public speaking is not yet in her. Yes or no? Yes or no? The talent of public speaking is the first thing we learn in the theater. You see that? Do you see how important my field of study is now? It's like I'm here to sell my field of study. But the first thing is, because you will stand in front of thousands of people all around the world at different times, you will not want to collapse after forgetting a line and then go backstage and start to cry. You will begin to nurture and begin to train yourself in the art of drama, presentation, public speaking, and how to face the audience. Actually, many of us, we are actually shy. But when we come to our own field, we do what? We open up. That is what happened to your talent. After nurturing it and mastering the arts behind, the art and the science around your talent, to become confident to pass it across to others. Before going ahead, I want to add 2 or 3 things to all I've said so far. I talk about the knowledge, immersing yourself in knowledge of something. But when we stay here on the side of this country, we have a way of saying those in the north are not educated. Oh, they are educationally less developed. Oh, the Hausas and the Fulanis are not educated. Yes or no? Do you know that majority of them are more educated than you are? And in the truth, all the Fulanis, I use the word, all the Fulanis are more educated than you are. Very funny. All the Fulanis that are adults my age are more educated than I am. At least at this moment, I would say that I've attained a level of education that I cannot say I'm not educated anymore. Right? But it looks very funny. The first thing I ask you is, when a person is born at the riverine area, you expected him to know what? To know how to swim. When a Fulani gives birth to a child, he's expected to know how to herd a cow. Yes or no? Do you know how to herd a cow? How much knowledge of cow do you have? No, talk to me, please. How much knowledge of cow do you have? Do you have any knowledge of cow? Edin? You still have to go to university to study agriculture before you know how to walk around cow. But do they have to? But right from a child, the parents started immersing them in the knowledge of cow herding. Yes or no? Immersion in the knowledge of something is education. Do you see that? And here we are. From childhood, we start learning how to speak English. Yes or no? We consider that as what? Education, right? And from child, they are also immersed in the knowledge of how to read the Quran and speak Arabic language. Yes or no? They move towards the east, learning Arabic. We move towards the west, learning English. Are they educated or not? In terms of language, are they educated or not? Can you speak Arabic? As long as you cannot, you are not educated in that light. But they are. I don't know if I'm speaking to anybody here, please. Am I making meaning, please? When you have that knowledge, you will never open your mouth to say they are Nigerians. They don't know anything. They are not educated. Anyone who says they are not educated lack knowledge of education. If they take your Western education, that means they are at advantage, 2 levels of education, and you have 1. Do you see that? When you move from here to Finland, can you operate in that area? Can I operate in that area with my level of English? No. Right there, they will consider me as an illiterate because I cannot read their words. I cannot read their books. I cannot speak their language. Until I immerse myself in the knowledge of that language, I will still be considered uneducated. I don't know if I'm making any place. At this time, I think it's becoming a top-down approach. I want a situation whereby anybody from the audience will ask a question. And then from here on, I will move on again. Anybody? Ask me any question from anywhere, even outside this lecture. Please. Thank you. Just stand here. Any other person? Follow. Follow. Any other person from this side? From the back? Anybody from here? Anybody from here? Ask question. This is how we know. This is how we acquire knowledge. And it is the knowledge we gain from here that we immerse ourselves into. Am I making any place? So, if you're ready, step forward here and ask a question.
My name is Rantimi Julius-Adeoye from 7th-day Adventist High School. My question is this. If I want to be an actress and my parents says I can't be an actress, what will I do?
Thank you. Is that all the question you want to ask?
Yes.
Thank you. Somebody else, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olani Yusuf from Adventist High School. I want to ask that, how can a person develop his talent?
Thank you.
My name is Zabida Kudibera from Adventist High School. My question is, what is the difference between spiritual gifts and talents?
Thank you.
My name is Shibo Aleboluwasefe from Adventist High School 1. My question is, in a situation whereby you have a natural gift and maybe you have the privilege to go and study in the university, and there are 2 courses you want to pursue, like that of music and mass communication, and you loved it, so what do? And you're asked to choose only one.
Okay. The second person who asked the question, please, I would like you to come back outside, please. The second person. Okay, thank you. Come on.
I'm Ajibolo Oyewole by name from University School. I want to ask that if the Fulanis are actually a better educationist than we, then why should they be against Western education?
Thank you.
My question is that, my name is Akiti Taiwo. I'm from Adventist High School. My question is that, why is it difficult for us to show our talents? Why is it not have confidence to show our talents?
Thank you. Thank you. Stay, please. The two of you stay aware. Let me respond to the first batch. I will come back to you, please. I started my story. My story was actually based on my own parents who decided that I must be a medical doctor. And for me, I wasn't interested in it. But before I answer your question, I will say one thing that happens to virtually more than 50% of students you find in Nigerian universities, especially the private universities. They are in the university because their parents want them to be, not because they want to be in the university. Because of that, they end up not graduating or graduating with a terrible result, or after even graduating with a good result, you just give it to them and become rebellious. Parents think of what they feel is good for you, not what you feel is good for you. And parents don't think of you when they are making a decision. They are thinking of future that they consider good, not that you consider good. And parents think of their own prestige in the society. Because of that, they will decide for you. And because you are not interested, you will fail. Striking a balance. Actually, after I left my O level, my chemistry was F9 actually. Because I was not interested in medicine. It was just a way for me to rebel. You have them in so many universities. Some will stay 6-7 years before entering the university because the jam will continue to jam them. Like nowadays, that's the language we used to use that time. Say, it has been jammed. So that means it failed. Okay, do it again. The world we are in is changing. What used to be prestigious yesterday are no longer prestigious today. Let's take, for instance, I immersed myself in the knowledge of computing, on how to use it to graphic designing and the rest. So I started business, making money, living well, doing that. Do you think at that level of mine, I will want to go to university to study computer science and be earning 150,000 naira when I was already making millions, designing graphics and making Unipol adverts? The big boy you see on the streets. Do you think I want to go back to study computer science? No, I wouldn't want to. Number one for me is just a business. It's not where my talent, where my hobby is actually. Where my talent, what I feel comfortable doing, just something to make money from. So your parents think of the money. You think of happiness. So give to them at the early level what you can give to them. Don't be rebellious like that. Because many of you, when you become rebellious, they will ask you to do it yourself. Then that's where your Waterloo will be. Listen to them, follow, and then continue to tell them. If you score A1 in your chemistry, and all you want to do is to act, and you're going to tell your parent that, though I score A1, but actually I'm not interested in this. I'm more interested in acting. Like Yorubas used to say, when you beat a metal on the same spot continuously, after a while, what will happen? It will bend. Because you have given them what they wanted, but along the line, they discover that your interest is somewhere else. After a while, they say, okay, pursue it. And again, you must show them the reason why you want to do it. Your argument must be superior to theirs. I have a younger friend whose interest was, the parent would never even want to hear that you study theater arts. But today, the parent so happy that the child wants to go and study theater arts because he has shown that he's gifted. He makes good music as a music producer, he sings well, and he writes story well. that the mother becomes so enthused that she'll pick it and, So if you should throw this away to her, to be like, she wasted the talent. Do you understand that? You want to do acting and your parents do not allow you, do not agree to it, but you must have a way to pass it across. When you try to fight the superior force we have the day, you be the failure. Do you understand me? Now you want to act, be an actor, what will you do? There are two ways of being an actor. One, before I answer that, think deeply. Why do I want to be an actor? Some just want to be an actor so that they'll be known. Then will he put food on my table? If you want to be known, at least you are in the know that many of our so-called actors, when it comes to medical treatment, you find them online or on TV soliciting for funds because they do not have enough money. The face is popular, but pocket is empty. Do you understand that? This is not Europe, it's not America. So, do you just want to be known or you want to make a living out of it? You have to first and foremost train knowledge. Have the knowledge, immerse yourself in that knowledge. In theater, where we are, you have more than 10 areas in which you can specialize. And acting is not even one of the 10 areas. I am a director and a media art person. So the first thing you see me carrying everywhere I travel is camera. I take photography. I just say photograph wherever you see me go. I'm a photographer. This is what I teach in the university. This is what I do. And as a photographer, I can cover your event for 3, 4, 5 hours for 1.5 million naira. So how many months job will you do to get 1.5 million naira? It's a simple question, right? And there are people who you have to fly down from Europe to come to Nigeria to handle your photography, to handle your event. I have students who have passed through me that will not collect anything short of 500,000 to handle your event. Okay? There are other areas. This whole place, a theater artist can design it if you specialize in technical theater. They see light, they see color. They build. If you come to the theater and want to do a play, in this place, if you want to stage a play here, we can build 2-story building and we'll not call the carpenter from outside. Very funny. Most of the film you see, there is a set. It's a set. So that's why they're able to destroy the sets. Yet, know the reason you want to do it. Once you are convinced, then you can think of where to go. You can learn from those who are outside, the so-called professionals, and then you can come to the university to learn. But when you come to the university to learn and acquire more knowledge, that means you have more field open to you. You can be, if the acting is not paying off, you can be employed in another area and earn your salary. Am I making meaning here, please? So, have I answered the question of those who ask question, please? Who have I not answered this question? What's the question again? Every gift is given to us from above. Either you believe in God or you don't believe. Every good gift is given from above. Gifts is spiritual. Either you're a Christian or you're Muslim. Most often when you sleep, you see your talent, you see the gift, and then begin to think towards it. You don't just stand and then begin to think in abstract. It comes to you. Do you understand? But your application now will now determine if it is for good or for bad. Have I answered your question, please? Please. The question, please. Ask. Okay. I want you to ask the question again, please. No, I want the man to answer first.
I want to ask that, how can we develop our talents?
Thank you. Through training. And the training, I've used it to answer the same question that said, continue to immerse yourself in it. Continue to do it on your own first. Going to do it. For me, for my photography student, tell them, buy a camera for you to take photograph. Just take. The more you take, the better you become. Do you understand? Then before beginning to talk about the principles you have to go through. Sometimes you develop a new principle that I don't even know about in that course. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ayem Kende. I'm from Akodamode Middle High School. So my question is that my determination is hair making. So my parents were confused to make fashion designer. So I'm not interested.
Thank you. We'll go back to what the parents want. They look at the future. Will hair making give you money? But the good thing is I have someone here who actually then come from Netherlands as well. And the truth was that the two things that she was using to survive before she became a lecturer in Netherlands was actually to make hair and to sew clothes. She was making hair and sewing clothes. That was what she was using to survive in Europe. Okay? So, both are good. You can have a one-stop shop. So then by the time you have higher education, so that you won't be doing it anymore. You employ people doing them for you. Okay, even the hair. Can you do 10 hair in a day? We have to have more people doing things for you, but the knowledge that you know better, if one of your apprentices or your worker is doing it wrongly, you can say, no, let me handle this. You can actually be called to do a special event or special hair for especially those who are getting married, bride. So the two is not a bad choice, but continue to nurture yourself in the one that you want. Well, you'll be better off. And then that one of your parents, don't throw it away. Okay? Thank you. You want to ask a question? Yes.
My name is Oyekunle Joseph.
Thank you.
From Redefined University Staff School. My question is that if one discovers he has 3 talents, how will the person know the superior one and the one that will lead the person to the correct direction he's going to?
Thank you.
That's one. And the second one, if someone knows his talent, he discovers his talent, and everything around him is pulling someone away from the talent, like no time, like the assignments they are giving you is consuming your time. What they are doing around you is giving you no time to be able to nurture that talent. So what can someone do about that?
Thank you. I'll go back to what the lady that asked about spiritual, or is it spiritual or something to you. The gift comes to you naturally. Okay? And the truth is that no matter what is dragging you away from it, no matter what, okay, it is that you always find time to do it because it gives you pleasure. For you, it is not time consuming. You don't call your hobby as time consuming, do you? You say, by the side, let me do this. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Let me do this again. Because it just comes to you naturally. Even when you're not paying so much attention, you do it better than those who are even paying so much attention. Because it has become part of you. Do you understand? You don't run away from it. No matter what they are giving you, prioritize your time. You have 18 hours or 16 hours in a day. Okay, there's no way everything they give you will take 1 hour, the whole 16 hours. After sleeping for 8 hours, you have 16 more. So you divide it and then allocate time to your talents, okay? The 3 talents can be enhanced the same way. Okay, we have many of us. And some can remain latent for a while you develop a particular one that is so much important to you. And along the line, you begin, as you are so perfect in this one, begin to do the others later. We have many of us here who are experts in different areas of human endeavor. If you call me now to act as I'm with you, if you ask me as I'm talking to you to begin to cry, it will come to me naturally. I'm telling you. They lie to us that men don't cry. That is the first talent they remove away from you. God gave us talent to laugh and talent to cry. Same when you are as a baby, if you don't cry, they will spank you. Okay? So then you begin to nurture it. It becomes something I used to get money as an actor. Okay? Then now I'm talking to you. Public speaking is a talent in itself. Many people do not go to school, but they speak well. Do you understand? You can develop the whole three, but take the one that is more important at a particular time, then the other can begin to follow. Thank you for engaging me, as you have allowed me to engage you as well.